Len Wade was born in Birmingham, Alabama.
Absolutely.
Back in the 1940s.
Yeah.
In high school, he fronted the Len Wade Band. After graduation, he relocated to the Florida Panhandle and joined the Tikis, who were signed to Mercury Records.
Right.
The Tikis released a few singles and an album, and Len then came to the attention of Buddy Killen, who signed him to a solo deal on Dial Records, and Len's also recorded for United Artists Records in the 60s, Shelby Singleton's SSS International Records in the 70s, and Mercury Records in the 1980s.
Yep.
At some point, Len moved to Middle Georgia, and I'm glad he did because I'm a big Len Wade fan. So let me tell you my Len Wade story. A couple of, not quite 2 years ago, it was actually in November of 2022, Cletus, Keith Jones, mentioned your name. So I went on YouTube and watched some videos, and there was one song in particular, Don't Put Me On,
Yeah.
which was on United Artists Records, and I just fell in love with that song. It's a nice pop song. Sounded like it could have been done by the Dennis shows.
Girl, you tell me I'm your destiny, but I often wonder by the way you treat me. Don't put me on. Don't put me on.
So I tried to get Cletus to invite you to some of our comp lunches back then, and it didn't happen. And then I saw this video of you with Laverne Smith at the sushi restaurant.
Right.
And it looked like you were playing a grand piano.
Right.
And why they would have a grand piano in a sushi restaurant, I don't know. But you were doing a Sam Cooke song, and I just freaked out when I saw that.
Bring your sweet loving, bring it on home to me. Yeah, yeah, I didn't know what I was getting into, but I caught thinking of Jackson too. I didn't mind seeing him fade out of sight, but I just knew I had some fun last night. Getting in town and looking for a thrill. If Lincoln won't get it, Jackson sure will.
So I demanded that Cletus get us together, and finally we
Cool,
did
I'm
get
glad.
together, and I've seen you perform several times since with the Tikis and,
Oh, yeah, that's
and
right.
doing your own stuff, and you sit in with some folks here and there, and so you're a soul man.
Well, I'll take it as a compliment.
Well, yeah, you should. So let's go back to your childhood in Birmingham. How did you get into music?
Well, my mom played the piano, a lot of gospel stuff, and started watching her and my uncle. We used to have jam sessions on Sundays,
Okay.
like at church, whatever.
Right.
So that's how I got interested in it, and so started picking up watching my mom. She played by ear, so I just watched her fingers and kind of memorized the notes and stuff. I just started messing around and just kept on doing it, and that's what I've been doing the rest all my life.
And so you formed a band in high school. And
Yeah.
What was your exposure to R&B music, though?
Well, I was listening to all those like Jimmy Reed, all that music like that, all the big artists at the time, and I just liked it, and just started getting more interested in it, and then, so I put me a little band together.
Yeah.
And at the time, I played different, 2 or 3 different instruments. I played bass, and piano's my main instrument, and so I just, just fooling around and got more serious about it. And so this band came to town, and I was playing. The Tikis came to town, and they needed a piano player, and that's how I learned to play piano.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the bass player was he knew a lot about music, and he was showing me chords, so I just started developing and I've been doing it ever since.
So the Tikis were already an established band when you joined.
Yeah, they were a road band. They had another piano player. He had a real bad accident, and he couldn't play anymore. So they just happened to see me in a club that I had a little trio together. I was playing bass and singing. So they saw me that night, and then they just took me with them when they left.
Okay. And then so you moved to Florida.
Yeah.
And y'all were based there.
Panhandle. We met our manager there in Valparaiso. He owned all the amusement around Florida in that area, amusement company, jukeboxes and all that.
Oh, okay.
So he had him a little studio. So we started working in the studio, like just every day, every night after. That's all we did was play music from daylight to dark.
Yeah.
And well, he was a lot younger too. So, and he developed this group really. Got us going and got us connected with Nashville. But they tell me now I should have been somewhere else instead of Nashville, because if it's Memphis or L.A. or New York or something, Nashville, is just strictly country,
Yeah, but there were, over the years, there have been soulful singers signed to country deals like T. Graham Brown.
Oh yeah,
and
that's right.
Razzie Bailey, who's from Alabama but lived here before he moved to Nashville.
Great singers.
And more recently, there's a guy named Billy Currington, who's from Georgia, who's very soulful, who lives in Nashville.
Yeah.
So there have been country singers with an R&B tinge to them.
Yeah.
And but all right, so the Tikis, who some of the guys are still around,
playing.
still playing. They've played a few months ago here in Middle Georgia, but you eventually started doing some solo stuff
Yes.
for Buddy Killen, and Buddy Killen. There's actually a Macon connection there because
Kelso Herstow, you know
Joe Tex recorded
Yeah.
for Buddy on Dial Records. Bobby Marchand, Clarence Reed, who's also known as Blowfly, and the Almond Joys, all
Yes.
recorded on Dial Records that you recorded on. How did that come about, your association with Dial Records and Buddy Killen?
Well, Buddy heard me in the studio that matter of fact, we were cutting that song you liked, "Don't Put Me On."
Yeah.
We were cutting that, and he happened to be there, so he said he'd like to talk to me and sign me up, and then, that was the whole story.
Okay. And like I said before, that "Don't Put Me On" song was on United Artists Records, which was a pretty big record label. It became part of Capitol Records and like that. And Buddy Killen's label was distributed by Atlantic Records.
Yeah.
So these were kind of big deals.
Yeah. Well, I had a record got in the charts called "The Night the Angels Cried" on United Artists. And
Okay.
I think it was in the top 100. I forget what number it was,
Yeah.
but
What year would this have been?
God,
70s or 60s or
early 70s.
early
Yeah.
70s?
Yeah.
Okay. Also in the 70s, you recorded for Shelby Singleton's
Singleton.
SSS International Records.
Yeah.
And Shelby had a lot of connections here in Macon through the Macon Recording Studio. And then later on, you recorded for Mercury Records, which was again a big record label. And that's when they really wanted you to turn country. Is that the deal?
Yeah. Well, Brenda Lee, she got me sort of helped me out with the break of the Mercury Polygram, and
Oh, all right. How did your affiliation with Brenda Lee come about?
I played piano for her. We were on a Japan trip. We were over in Japan for like 6 weeks, and I was playing piano for her.
Oh, okay.
She's a very good friend now.
Okay, well, good. And Brenda's still
Yeah.
around and still kicking it.
She sure is. Yeah. She got #1 song of the Christmas, rocking around the Christmas tree.
That's true. Did you get tired of playing that, or?
No, I mean, she is awesome. She really is a great entertainer and real professional lady, so I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
she can sing too.
Over the years, I met many people who have played with Brenda Lee. So, all right, there's a website called Sir Shambling's Deep Soul Heaven.
Right.
Have you seen your information on there?
Yes, I did. I was on the internet. Well, in 2008, I had colon cancer, and I overcome that. And while I was going through my cancer thing, I was on the internet a lot, and my name came up. And some guy from England said, "Is this Len Wade?" And I said, "Yes, this is Len Wade." Everybody's clowning on us. He was going, "Wow." So he said, "There's an article you should read. I'll send you the magazine." And it was that. It said they had 20 blue-eyed soul singers.
You were one of the top 25 blue-eyed soul singers.
I came in third.
And along with Boz Scaggs, Dusty Springfield, the Average White
Tony
Man.
Joe White.
Tony Joe White's on there, yeah. Delbert McClinton.
Yeah.
A few other folks some of them I didn't even know. And in another website said that they suggest that you sounded too black to be successful in the white market. And in fact, you're included on a few compilation albums called Resurrection.
Resurrection, yeah.
So you're familiar with that,
Yes.
okay?
That's wow.
Yeah. All right. So that same website said that after your deal with Mercury Records, you became frustrated and walked away from the music industry for good.
Yeah.
But you really did walk away for good.
You're right. I'll never do that. My last concert at the time was at Macon Coliseum.
Oh, really?
And they put me with George Jones, Randy Travis, Steve Earle, Len
Wow.
Wade. And so, you know, it was very interesting. When I came out, they were like, where'd he come from?
Right,
You know, 'cause
yeah.
I sounded different. And but I'll tell you another story that I always think of is was in New York. I mean, it was I was meeting some record people in New York. And the guy was bouncing his ball around his office where they were talking. I was just sitting over there, and my manager was talking to him. And he was talking. He said, "This Len Wade guy, I like the way he sings. He's constantly bouncing his ball." And they said, "Well, would you like to meet him?" He said, "Of course." They said, "There he is, right over there." And he said, "Man, I thought he was black."
Oh, yeah.
He said his
Yeah.
face just went, "Huh?"
Yeah.
So, surprised him.
We might sneak you downstairs to have you play something.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. Like I said earlier, I'm a fan. And
Thank you,
I
sir.
appreciate you doing this.
Thank you very much.
And if we sneak in a video from downstairs, I'll play it right now.
I saw a tear falling from my eye. I heard a heart breaking with a sigh. Yes, I know all about love. I want to know what I know is that it comes and it goes. Love it deceives a man when he's lonely, and he will hear. Oh, when he's lonely. Yes, I know all about love. I want to know what I know is that it comes and it goes.
Thank you, Len Wade,
Thank you, Tim.
for this.
Thank you,
And
sir.
I'm glad you're a part of Comp.
Yes.
And
Me too.
we will. We may do this again.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Girl, you tell me I'm your destiny. Don't put me on. Don't put me on. Don't put me on. Love is not a thing that's sudden down. Love is a joy, but to be the one